Hello. This is a different version of this kind of jumping games that I've been working lately. Remember the dinosaur example? If not, check the description. It is this kind of jumping game. For example, here I am using Mario. And if you check, we have this character jumping, but the different thing from the previous example with the dinosaur that now it's we have a variable jump. Okay. So depending on how much you press the screen, Mario will get higher. So for example, in this case, it's just smaller jumps or higher jump. Okay. Just wait for the tutorial.
Hello. Well, as I showed you, that was the app that we're going to be working. It is similar to the dinosaur app. Okay, so basically it's an app where you are running, you are jumping. Okay, well, so to start the tutorial, the first part it is this. We are going to get or create the running cycle frames. Okay, sounds and everything that we need for this app before we go to App Inventor. Okay. Then we are going to go to App Inventor and create the basic layout for this app and upload the files, the necessary files. Finally, we will be creating the basic physics variables. Okay, well, I guess this is just the first part of this tutorial. I hope I can make it, well, not very fast, but understandable. Okay, so well, let's start. Let's go here. The first part is to get or create the running cycle frame, sounds, etc. In this case, I created some. Okay, I created this Inkscape. These are very simple. Okay, so as you can see, but for this tutorial we will be using the same frames we use in another tutorial that I created. Remember the Mario app, okay, when it was collecting coins. So we are going to use these three frames, okay, and I also am going to be using some sounds for the jumping, and that's it. Okay, basically these are the things that we need just for now. Okay, maybe we need more things later on. Well, so this is the idea. So this is the first part, very simple. Okay, so if you want to get these files, please check the description of the video. Okay, I post a link for that, thanks to for you to get. Well, then let's go to App Inventor. Okay, and let's create the basic layout. Okay, so here we are in App Inventor, and we are going to check we're going to create all of these things. Okay, well, first the first thing that we need, it's a canvas. So let's say that the canvas will be like fill parent. Okay, and fill parent to use all the screen, remember. And what else? Oh, why not to have a beautiful color blue? Okay, maybe, well, not maybe, we need a sprite for our jumping character. Okay, basically that's the main thing. We're going to use for this example portrait, or do you prefer landscape? It's okay, but in this case we're going to use the portrait mode. Okay, and that's it. So then here in the image sprite, okay, well, we're going to upload the files to App Inventor. So we go here, go for where you have your files, and I will do this for Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3 as well. And I'm going to upload these sounds for the jumping thing. Okay. will explain you why I have two sounds for jumping. Okay, well, so we have this, and what about if we say that the image for the sprite, okay, for this one, that will be Mario 1. That's it. Okay, well, just this is the basic idea with this. And let me check if I can share with you about this thing. Well, then we have to go to the blocks. Okay, so let's start. The first thing, according to this, now we are going to create the variables, the physics variables that we're going to be using for this character to jump. Okay, let's go here. So the first variable that we need, okay, this one that it's called velocity in y. Okay, so we can call it Mario velocity y. Okay, so this means goes up when Mario the sprite goes up. Okay, so it is just moving in the y-axis. Okay, so we set this to 0. Then we need another variable that it will be, okay, so this is the velocity. Okay, so now we need Mario position y. I can use the one that it comes in the blocks for the specific sprite, but in this case I would like to use it in a separate variable. Okay, and finally for variables or physics variables we need gravity, a force that takes Mario, okay, to the ground. So we can set it like 9.8 for this example. Then we can change this. Okay, so these are the basic variables for the physics. We need, of course, we need more variables. We need another variable that it's going to tell us if our character is jumping or not. This is important because you don't want your character to be jumping while it is in the air. Okay, so that is not that very logical. So we want to know if the character is jumping, and we are going to set it to false. This is going to be just false, okay, or true. But I just have here this, and let's change the name to Mario. Okay, Mario, and that's it. Okay, well, now I guess it's time to start working with this. Okay, just let me finish this part. Well, now we have we got the files, we designed the basic layout, okay, and then we have created the basic physics variables. Now let's start working now with make Mario walks in his place. Okay, so let's go to this part. Let's make this guy walk. So as you can see, well, I just have this image. So first let's place Mario in the scenario. In this case I'm going to use the percentage to position here, okay, him. So let's say that we need the position, the X and Y. Okay, and we are going to do this when screen loads, initialize, and we can add it into a procedure. Okay, positioning Mario. Okay, so well, this is for the first part when the screen loads. So I want to have this guy Mario. Okay, so for here and the X and Y. So in this case, remember the screen it is like talking about the height, it is 100%. Okay, it doesn't matter the screen that you are using. We want, for example, I want Mario to be, so if Mario is here, okay, in this upper part, it is very close to the 0%, 10%, 20%. So you have it here in the middle, it is like the 50% of the screen. But if you have it here, it is like near the 100%. Remember that the position of Mario, it is based on this upper left corner. Okay, so in this case, I want to have Mario at the 70% or 65% of the height of the screen. Well, to do this, we're going to do this. Let's go here to canvas. We need the size of the height of the canvas. So the position of Mario has to be, and we're going to use this simple formula. Okay, canvas times, in this case I want the 50%. Oh, sorry. I don't know why always is doing that, but well, at the 50%. Okay, now let's do this to check. Well, it is almost like that, so let's say that is at 65% of the screen. Okay, that's much better. And now we do the same for the width. Okay, so in this case it goes like this. If you have it near here, it is close to the 0%. If you have it here, 50%, and if you have it here, it is like 100%. So we want this guy to be like more or less like this. Okay, so in this case I will be placing him, but not the height, based on the width. A little bit, not very close to the middle. Okay, so maybe like 37%. And let's check it out. Do it. Oh, sorry. Do it. Okay, and do it. It's very, but it's quite in the middle. So let's say that it's maybe 25%. I guess that's okay. Maybe 20%. So it's at 20%, and that's it. Okay, and then we load this procedure when the skate initializes. Well, I have here the position of Mario. Okay, and then we need something make Mario walks. Okay, so we're working with this. Now we need to create animation. Okay, so what if we create this thing? So we need some variables for this, an extra variable for animation that we goes here, and let's call it animation frames, and let's set it to maybe 0. Okay, so now for this thing to animate, we need to create a loop, and for loops sometimes we use clocks. Okay, so let's rename this, and let's say that this clock is for animation clock. Okay, and let's set it something like 45. Okay, so then you can check it. Okay, well, if it's very fast or not, or maybe 60%. Then we have this. We have to go for another clock for the jumping, but not now. First, let's work with the animation. It's important. Well, to animate Mario, okay. So remember, to animate Mario, now we have to change frames. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we want to repeat this cycle. Okay. So well, to do that, we are going to change the picture every time the clock finishes its interval. Okay, so let's go to picture. Okay, so and remember this variable. Okay, what if we create a procedure to animate Mario? Animation of Mario. Well, so in this case we are going to have this. Okay, first we are going to get this variable. We are going to set it. Let me check if it's like this because sometimes I got confused. So let's say that global animation frames, it's equal to two plus, we're going to increase this value every time the clock finishes. Okay, so in this case we're going to increase it like that. So now, and then we have to be sure that if the animations frames in this case are smaller than if we have 3 frames, so we are going to use 3. Let's check it. Okay, just remember, a good thing about Inventor is that we can check these things. Okay, so if the global animation it's smaller than 3, okay, set Mario picture to, we're going to join, because remember that the name of this is Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3. Okay, so we are going to use here the word Mario, and the number. Okay, so in this case it's the animation frame, and then we have the PNG extension dot video PNG. That's it. So it will be changing this thing. Okay, so if this, okay, this is smaller, but what if we want to increase more? Well, in that case we have to set the animation frames to 0 to avoid this. Now let's check if this is working or not. Well, first let's say this is enabled in this moment. Well, in this moment it doesn't matter. Okay, we want Mario to start running just when we start the screen. Then we can set it just when we press start or something. So animation of Mario. Now check your animation. I don't know. It looks okay, more or less. So what if we increase this to 4? What happened? Yes, because it was not using this frame. If we set it here like 1, it will be like skipping 1. Okay, so just to show you what happens if we have it with 0. That's it. Looks okay. Then you can set the speed. Okay, for example, if I set it like 45, it looks like faster. And then it will look smoother if you check the compile app, I guess. Now because it's working on the companion, well, it doesn't look like very smooth, but we have here this part. Okay, and now we have make Mario box. Now let's go to the interesting part, how to make Mario jump. Okay, especially when we touch the screen. Well, to do that, okay, we need to create another animation. Well, another animation, another kind of loop. Okay, so this is going to be the jumping clock. Jumping clock. Okay, and we are going to disable this, and we're going to use here, like, let's say 45 again. I like that one. Well, Mario's running, you keep running, Mario. Okay, well, to make jump this guy when we touch the screen, but first we're going to create the procedures. Okay, so let's say jumping Mario, make Mario jump. Or making a line. Oh, sorry. Okay, now to do that, okay, first remember when we start, okay, we set this variable, okay, that it's telling us that Mario is not jumping. No, it's not jumping, it is like running, okay, because it is in this position. Okay, so now we need to check first if Mario is jumping or not, because if not, we don't want Mario to jump. Okay, so if Mario, okay, in this case is jumping, in this case is jumping Mario. Okay, if Mario is jumping, okay, we're going to use that one. Okay, if Mario is not jumping, okay, so we can jump, that is the idea. Okay, well, what is happening here? We need the velocity. Okay, the velocity is like a force that Mario it will have when we touch the screen. So in this case, we are going to add here this variable. So when I touch the screen, okay, remember the screen, when the screen goes here, its value it's bigger, so it depending on the screen. But for example, if you have here 0, as I told you before, here is like 200 or 700. Okay, so if we want Mario to go here up, we need to have an opposite force, so it has to be a negative value because it goes against the gravity. The gravity goes down with a positive value and the jumping goes up with a negative value. So in this case, so let's set here, then you can experiment with the values. So let's use in this case minus 40. So this is the force that will have Mario. Okay, so now I am jumping. In this moment I have the force, so Mario is jumping. What happened with this? We need to set it that, hey, this guy is jumping, so now this is true. That's it, Mario is jumping. Now when we do this, okay, when we touch canvas, okay, we will be like making this, but now our animation clock, okay, the one for the animation, we want it to stop. We don't want Mario to be running while he's jumping, so we need to stop. So in this case we say, hey, animation clock, you know what, stop for a second because Mario is jumping. Okay, so we say this timer enable to false. Okay, that's why we are stopping this, because Mario it will be like jumping, so it has to be stopped. So another thing, for example, what if we want to have a specific frame when Mario is jumping? Okay, so for example, let me check if I have here the images of Mario. Here we want to have this animation for jumping, Mario 2 PNG. Okay, so let's say that we want to have Mario jumping for this, so let's set Mario, picture. So we stop the clock, so we need to select a picture, and the picture it will be Mario 2 dot point png, it's point or dot, I don't know, Mario 2. Okay, and that's the frame that we want to use when Mario is jumping. Okay, so now we have this part that's pretty cool. Okay, and now if we have this part, when we touch it, okay, when we touch this thing, that's perfect. So let's say that we need another procedure. In this case, this is just to start making Mario jumping. Okay, so setting like the variables. So let's call this make Mario jump initial, and then we need another one. So what it will be Mario jumping. Okay, or make Mario jumping, and this is the 2. So this is going to be happening inside the clock, the jumping clock. Yes, the jumping clock, it will be like animating this thing. So now pay attention to this. We disable this clock because Mario, it will be jumping, so no more animation. But in this case, jumping, this one, we want to enable the jumping clock, because we want an animation to start. Animation to start when we touch this. Okay, so now we need the code that it will be working inside this thing. First, again, we need to check the variable for jumping, if, and then we check this guy is jumping. So we touch it, we change this thing. Okay, now the value is true, remember, because we set it here. Okay, so check, I am passing from this to this. Okay, so it's true if it's jump in this state. Okay, so that means that Mario will jump. Okay, so now we need to check the velocity. Okay, the velocity that we have, this force, the 60, we have to increase it every time that we finish a cycle in the clock. So in this case, we have to increase this velocity. Let me check these guys here. Okay, let's, oh, sorry. So for the velocity, we have to do this. We have to go here, and we have to increase the velocity. Again, here I am using this just to show you. So let's increase the velocity. Okay, but increase the velocity with the gravity. So what's happening here? Well, you have here this negative value and this positive value. Okay, so every time, okay, the gravity, it will put your character down. Okay, well, yes, it will be like jumping but not flying. Okay, so and the gravity will go against the velocity of Mario, so, and it will return him to the ground or to its initial position. Okay, well, so now this is the first part. Then we need to check the position, so it is changing the position. So the position of Mario, it will have a change again. So now the position, it will increase based on this force. Okay, so basically it will be like increasing here position plus the previous one, that is the global Mario velocity. That's it. Okay, so and what happened here, look, and then what you need, okay, it is to have here yes, you have it in the variable, but now you need to add this value to Mario, to the Y position. So you need just to copy this, the Mario Y position. the position, not the speed, don't get confused, okay, just the position. Okay, so that will happen. Now we need to make another, we need to check again another thing. So we are going to use the if. Okay, now we need to check the position of Mario. If it's in the ground, where is the ground? Okay, so for example, where is the ground? So the ground will be like something that we'll have here. What is the ground of Mario? The initial position. Okay, so Mario has to be here. Okay, so what if we create a variable called ground? Okay, so the beginning we set it to 0, but when we load the screen, okay, when we initialize, so we have this position. Okay, so we need to set it, okay, where is the ground of Mario? So the Y position, this is the important one. So we want to have it like this. Yes. Okay, or we can set it with the position of Mario, and you just say, okay, so give me the Y position. Okay, and it will transform it in that case. Okay, just when initializes. Okay, so either way, I guess it's fine. So we will experiment this. Okay, so now we added the variable ground. Okay, so just to know where the ground is. Okay, and to tell this to Inventor. So now, we need to check if what is going to happen when Mario starts to fall down. Okay, well, we need to tell the program that, hey, stop when Mario gets to the ground, stops. Okay, stop falling. So now we need to do this. Okay, so we need to check if the value, remember, again, I written here, the values goes here. When they go to the bottom part of the screen, the values are higher. Okay, so it's like 100, 200, 300, 400. Okay, so we need to check if the value it is like, for example, in this case is like 200 is an example, so we don't want it to be more than 200. Okay, so just to stay here in that part, so we need to detect if Mario is getting to the ground or to our imaginary ground. So in that case, we are going to tell this, we are going to check if the position of Mario in the y-axis, so if the position of Mario, okay, in the y-axis, it is bigger or equal to the ground. The ground, remember, the ground is here. Well, but we want to stop, okay, the value, so we want to Mario to stop falling and to stop well, we are going to stop the jumping clock, okay, and we want to enable again the running cycle. Okay, so to do that, we have to go to first, we're going to animate the animation clock. We're going to enable it again because it was stopped, remember? Okay, and then we are going to go to the other clock. So now the jumping clock, it is not necessary. So here I just duplicate because I'm lazy. We stop the jumping clock because now Mario is on the ground. Okay, and now we need to set the variable jumping. Okay, so Mario is jumping Mario now? No, because Mario now it's on the ground. Okay, so it is false. So let's write here comment, because sometimes I forget these things. Okay, what if Mario gets to the ground after jumping? Okay, so what if Mario gets to the ground after jumping? So well, now global jumping is set to false. And what happened with the velocity? Well, we don't want to have more velocity. Now velocity, it will be like 0 again. It will, we will have to reset this to 0. Okay, and what about the position of Mario? Well, the position of Mario, it has to be in the ground. Okay, so here the variable ground, and we can have it here. Okay, so let's say that sorry, I made a mistake here. We're talking about Mario. So okay, Mario, just make sure you are in the correct place. Okay, here, Mario to the ground. Okay, and in that case it will be okay. So I guess that's pretty much the thing. Okay, so in this one, remember, with this procedure, we are like in this procedure, the making jump in Mario. Okay, so we need to, when we touch the screen, give a Mario a negative value to go up, up against gravity, and enable the loops or the jumping. Okay, and that it will happen with this. Okay, so now we need to add the Mario jumping 2, okay, to the jumping clock. Mario jumping, and that's it. That is the part number 2. Here, animation clock, it will have this, and this, remember, this happens when I touch the screen. Okay, so we go to canvas, and we want touchdown. I'm going to use touchdown. Okay, so you can check with the other one. I will explain you why. So we want here the jumping initial, and I guess that's something that we have. So now let's load everything. Okay, so let's make a modification here. Jumping, well, let's try my name, Eduardo. Let's refresh the screen. Let's hope this is working. Well, Mario's in the position. Let's touch this thing. Oh, that's very strong. When I press, it will be. Now there was something that I didn't like it. I didn't like this part when it was a big jump. So let's just make sure everything is okay. So we have 9.8. Let's refresh again the screen and to see if this is happening again. Mario is in the position. Initial velocity when we touch this. You know what? I have to go here for jumping clock, it's disabled, animation is enabled. That's okay. So let's make it. First jumping is very high. So why? So well, again, we need to check everything here. Maybe it's about the gravity, okay, because it is just 9.8. So maybe we need to set it to minus 20. I'm not sure. Well, in this case, it's jumping small. Minus 40. So So again, if you modify, for example, gravity, let's say that is, so it has a bigger force, it's not allowing us to jump very high. Okay, I guess that's quite a thing. Okay, so let's check it here. So again, we go here, we refresh the screen, and we can start like checking what's the problem with do this thing. Okay, so when I click here, okay, I am setting this initial powerful velocity, okay, and then we enable this clock and we disable the other clock. So in this case we need to check which value has Mario velocity in this moment. It's 0. The gravity, it's 16. Okay, so the position of Mario, well, it is the one that is here, 0. The global Mario position is 0. Okay, well, it means about the Y position according to the imaginary ground. Okay, and here Mario, I'm just checking this thing just to make sure. For example, the position here, 341. Okay, that's it. So what do we need now? Well, so we have here the values, 16, jumping again, crashing he said, so let's say that's 9.8, 9.8, jumping is false, so I need to check this. Okay, so because it's jumping too high in the first part especially, so if I touch, I am touching, ting, 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 ting. Now let's go to another part. Okay, just to fix a little bit this thing. So now here we have well, the initial velocity. Okay, so Mario is jumping, and that's it. Now, what if we want Mario to have a variable jumping? Well, to have a variable jumping, it's pretty simple. Okay, and this will avoid this kind of mistakes. Okay, so to do that, we want when we touch. Okay, so the more we press the screen, okay, the higher Mario will get. So in this case, we are going to do it like this. We are going to add here canvas, touch up. When we remove the finger, we have to detect this thing, and it's pretty simple. So we just add here if, okay, and again, if the global velocity or the Mario velocity, if the Mario velocity it is smaller than in this case we can play with some values just to check. For example, like 20. Okay, minus 20, sorry, because remember velocity goes negative. Okay, so we want to set the velocity to 20, minus 20. That's it. In that case, when we press it, the more we press it, the higher it will jump. For example, I am here lost like little jumps just because I touch it very small, just for a little time. Okay, so let's go here and let's move these values. Let's have it like 60. So that is the highest because I leave it pressed. Okay, so this is the highest value. But if I do it like very fast, we can have a variable jump. And again, you can play with these values to see what happens. For example, here, check. I am using here pressing all the time. And what if I have it like, for example, minus 40? What do you think? So let's check. Check, I have some this small. So, and again, you have to fix it. But what if I have it minus 5? Minus 5. So the response, it depends on the response that has Mario when you press it and you release. Again, so in this case I like the one with minus 20. So let's leave it like minus 30. Sometimes it's a good idea to have it at just the half of the velocity of Mario. There you set minus 30 and it works really cool. So if you want a higher jump, well, just increase the velocity of Mario, okay, and that's it, okay. Or if you wanted to have this force against him, change the gravity. For example, if we have a smaller gravity value like 5, so now Mario jumps higher, and again it has this option, okay. Or if you want Mario to jumps less, let's increase, for example, 12, and that's it. And that's the way you have your running character, okay, like in the jumping dinosaur. And then you need to add the other things like this kind of block that you have to jump. Or for example, if we are working with this Mario, what we have some enemies, okay, these ones, these I don't remember the name of these turtles that were like with kind of spikes. So, and that's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, okay. So sorry if I didn't speak very loud, okay, because I am recording this very early in the morning, okay. So, but I hope this is useful for you. And if you have any questions, doubts, problems, please let me know, okay. And there is just one thing that we don't have it very clear, okay. I'm not sure why Mario is jumping like crazy in the first part, so maybe there is a mistake, so we can fix it, but you can get, okay. So let me check if we need something else. Global position. Oh yes, Mario, it's here in its position. Global Y position. You know what? There is something here. The position of Mario, we need to set it here. So we need to set this position to the same. So maybe that's why we have this kind of mistake. Yes, because I set it like 0 because you cannot use blocks of this at the beginning. So then if we set, now we have the position. So if that was the mistake, that was, it was jumping, okay. So I'm very happy now because I fixed this mistake. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this very long tutorial. But we were missing something, the sounds, right? So what if we have these sounds? Okay, so let's say that to make it a little bit more interesting, so we go to sounds, sound medium. We add 2 sounds. Let's see if this is working. Let's reduce this to 100. To 100. So the first one, it will be for small, and the second one, it will be for this one. Okay, so in this case, let's see if this is working. For small, let's call it play. But what if we have it here? I'm sure. I don't know if you can listen to that. Oops. In this case, we use this condition, and we are not going to use this. So I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm just experimenting this. Let's call it as sound 1 and sound 2. I guess we need to fix that, but what? So in that case, I guess that worked better in this case. Let's use it here. We need to check this, the position of Mario, I guess. Not perfect, but works. And we solve this puzzle. That's it, guys. Okay, well, sorry for taking too much with this thing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Okay, and as I told you, sorry, but that's the way you work with App Inventor. You need to test. Let's wait for this. Yes, I want to delete this. Okay, well, I hope you find useful this tutorial, and sorry for taking too much. Okay, well, if you have any questions or comments, please leave me a message. Please, guys, check my subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this to my channel. Okay, check my links. Well, I hope someday I can start with something with Patron. Okay, I created a page, but I guess I need to work more. Okay, so but I hope someday I can be like working more with these things. Okay, well, guys, I will see you next time. See you. Please share this video with people who likes App Inventor. I hope they find it useful. Okay, well, guys, if you have something different or not, or you want to show me your apps, please share with me your link. Okay, you can check my also my Facebook page. Okay, but I upload sometimes the same tutorials, but you can leave me some messages or something, questions about anything about App Inventor. Okay, well, so I will see you next time. Thank you, goodbye, have a nice or happy coding or happy App Inventor, happy app inventing. Goodbye, guys.